Opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The punter, Jack Fox, has us ready to go, and we are underway here at Ford Field. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
2nd down, another shot for Jones. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A 41-yard punt there with no return, and the Lions will take over. Detroit's offense ready to take over. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and 2. Now a play fake, and it's gone. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Gibbs will try and pick it up. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the 1st down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. The tight end in motion right. Here's Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Now it's Goff. He's got right on the short throw. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
A couple of 1st downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Now back to the ground. Here's Gibbs. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain. So you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
Gone. That'll be caught by St. Brown. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 45-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Jonathan Allen, the former first-round pick, getting in there to bring him down. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. That's already the third time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the three.
But that doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now gone. And that is incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Jack Fox out to punt here on fourth down. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here, 1st and 10.
Yeah, that's a nice pickup there, especially when it comes on the heels of a 3 and out the first time you have the ball. They were determined to not have that happen again, and that's a nice throw for their first down of the game.
Now a first down carry by Jones. Up to the 20.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
2nd and 7 from the 20. Throwing is McCarthy. That pass complete to Moore. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Now a draw play. This is Jones. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. No luck whatsoever there on the draw.
Yeah, they're supposed to use their aggressiveness against them. That was the hope. But maybe they had too big of a meal last night. A half step slow, and he ends up running right into the meat of the defense.
A 40-yard punt, no return. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Goff now looking to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Second and 10. Goff. He's got it complete to Gibbs. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
We often talk about understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, and understanding what the defense is doing. We saw all of that on that play. Great recognition and understood where his running back was going to be. Found a way to have him leak out underneath, hit him with the football, and they picked up the first down.
And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Here's Goff. He finds his man complete. It's Gibbs. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Goff now looks to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Off play action. Here's Goff. That is caught by Laporta. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Throwing again is Goff. This is caught. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal. Gibbs. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. Montgomery. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Fourth down now after a loss of 2. We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football. And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. Fourth and goal from the 3. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Jared Goff to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And the Lions post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Well, we had the scoreless first quarter of play. We sure didn't have to wait long into the second quarter to get some action on the scoreboard.
So was the first quarter a feeling out process? I mean, that was an interesting quarter, wasn't it? Because we had some action, we had some good play. just didn't have any points. So now it's game on.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And now out comes Minnesota. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2nd and 7. Again, it's Jones. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Looking to throw McCarthy. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
That stop made by Jack Campbell.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
2nd and 9. To the air with McCarthy. Complete. Jefferson the target.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Here's McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a gain.
Here now, 2nd and 4. In motion comes the tight end left. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. Goff to St. Brown for the Detroit first down.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now, that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
In motion goes Patrick. Here's Goff. Into the hands of Patrick left side. And he'll be out right at the 35. First down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Gibbs straight ahead. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
On third down, here's Gibbs. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
In motion left here, one of their tight ends. Play action. It's Goff. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another first down.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, down at the 31. A toss out right to Gibbs. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. Goff now to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Great footwork, but still wrangled down before reaching the 20.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. A little surprise pays off on 3rd and 1. Pass instead of run. Gets him 15 yards. Out of the gun, Goff. And it's caught. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Gibbs. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Lions go 98 yards and finish it off in the end zone.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Working out of the gun is McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And Hockenson going to have the Vikings first down as he'll get this up to the 39. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
McCarthy off the play fake. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. Oh, and that is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again, McCarthy. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. And that is incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Now McCarthy. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, McCarthy. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Well, after incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Throwing is McCarthy. This one brought in by Jefferson. And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. They'll run it with Jones. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. 25 yards for Aaron Jones. And the Vikings are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Lions now taking over late in this first half. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. 35 seconds, all that remains in the first half as they come up on 1st down. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Second and 5. Here's Goff. St. Brown making the catch on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. Now Goff. He'll go right back to St. Brown. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Now 2nd and 5. From the gun, here's Goff. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And the Vikings going to take over here one more time before the half. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. McCarthy operating from the gun. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. A 1-touchdown ball game, 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And the Lions getting set to go on offense to start the 3rd. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. On the give, here's Gibbs. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Good yardage there on 1st down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
2nd down and a yard. Another run for Gibbs here. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And off to Gibbs, headed right here. And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here's 2nd and 7. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Off play action. Here's Goff. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. Does the big boy have the juice? And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 14. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So out now come the Lions. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll start things off with a give to Gibbs. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now a play fake, and it's Goff. And that'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 14 yards that time for number 14. Kevin O'Connell clearly unhappy with that call, and he's thrown that red challenge flag out on the field. They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. Now it's Goff. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Here's Goff. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. Hand off now to Gibbs. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
They will face a 2nd and 9 now following the penalty. Goff now looks to throw. Right side to Williams. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 18 yards there, down to the 18 and a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
To the sideline and incomplete.
And in the second half of a tied game, every decision gets magnified. And here, if he forces this ball, it could be intercepted. So that's the prudent play, to just airmail it out of bounds.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now back to the ground. Here's Gibbs. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
Talk about controlling the football and controlling a drive. And with runs like that, they'll continue to do exactly that.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Gibbs will try and pick it up. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. This is a very impressive drive, especially when you consider where they started from to now be set up 1st and goal.
Yeah, and some nice running right there. That's what got them the first down. But at this point, I suggest open up your playbook. You can call just about what you want.
Goff now looking to throw. And he's got it. And in for the Lions touchdown. Tim Patrick from 4 yards out. And the Lions have taken the lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he powers his way up past the 30. Kirby Joseph there to drop him.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call, because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
Here's a 2nd and 5. To the air with McCarthy. And this one too low. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. Here's McCarthy. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
Has not been a big game for him throwing the football. I think he feels like, let's try something different. Let's use the legs here and see if we can make some plays.
And no passing touchdowns, yardage not where he would like it. Try something new. It worked there. Now a first down carry by Jones. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
They work now on 2nd and 9. Looking to throw McCarthy. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Here is 3rd down and 4. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 19. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
They go back to the ground with Jones. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 66 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Aaron Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Vikings are an extra point away from drawing level. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Detroit's offense ready to take over. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
To throw is Goff. He'll get this one to Patrick. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 5. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. The Lions on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. In motion left goes a tight end. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
He came through well with a nice pass breakup there. Fortunate that he was on the spot. He's the only guy left to prevent the first down.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. They go ahead and snap it. Goff. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. There go play action. Here's McCarthy. And he's got this to Jefferson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards, the final tally.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 74 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
4 yards remain on 2nd down. Ball on the 10. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. And this will be incomplete.
Well, as we all know, possessions are crucial. I really didn't need to tell you that. You already knew it. So when he sees he's got nothing good going, an excellent decision to just send that one to the sideline.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. From the shotgun, McCarthy. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And his kick is indeed good, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So he waited on the sideline for his first chance in the ball game, and it didn't come until the 4th quarter, but he connects there. A big one to give him the lead.
Boy, you talk about coming in cold. I don't care how many times you kick it into a net. You're not really ready when you go out there and all that beef is coming at you trying to block the kick. Big spot, and he delivers.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And Detroit getting set to go now. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
The ball gets bumped up. It's now 2nd and 4 after the penalty. Out of the gun, Goff. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Play action. It's Goff. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams, 63 yards. And the Lions use the defensive breakdown to take the lead away here in the fourth. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And now out comes Minnesota. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. And his carries tonight, they're getting up there. So maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And here's Jones again on 2nd down. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 82 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 26. In motion, the tight end. Goff. He's got it complete to get. And it's out. He put it on the carpet.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jonathan Greenard running in to pick up the sack.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks. Pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the 1st down.
Off play action. Here's Goff. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on first and second downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Goff now to throw. He finds his man complete. It's Gibbs, and he'll get it down here to the 43. That's a gain of 4 here in the fourth quarter, with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 7 yards there and a first down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. And they'll send Williams in motion right. Now Goff. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Goff. He finds his man complete. It's Gibbs. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Bates' kick is good, and that'll make this a 7-point game. And from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Now McCarthy.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Here we go. This is 4th down. They'll indeed go. Here's McCarthy.
And this is caught, but they say out of bounds. That would have been a first down, but he couldn't stay in, and as a result, they're going to have to give up the football. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Here's Goff.
Finds Gibbs on the check down.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28.
I believe I could see what they were trying to do there, but unfortunately, the back ran out of room, too close to the sideline. And for defenders, we're often taught, 11 on the field, those sidelines can become the 12th defender. It worked to the defense's advantage on that play.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
A give right side for Gibbs.
And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to perhaps salt this one away.
Bates' kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
So all eyes on this Vikings offense. Down by 10. 1:44 to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down.
Looking to throw McCarthy. Completes this to Jefferson.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Now 2nd and 4. To the air with McCarthy. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Passing lanes, tough to come by with so many defensive backs on the field here late in the game. And it's not just the number of bodies, it's their quickness and their agility that makes it tough to complete a pass.
The sound reverberating here in the dome. This is 3rd down. Throwing is McCarthy. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Going for it, here's McCarthy. He's got his target. That's complete.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation
And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on fourth down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Out route to Jefferson, and he's got it.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
This is 1st and 10. Here's McCarthy.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop him with 13 seconds left to play.
They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long.
Operating from the gun, McCarthy. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
You get into these 2-minute drill situations, and you often got tired legs on the offensive line. But these defenders, they've been rotating in and out, and they're a little bit fresher and quicker. And the pressure there forced the incompletion.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. One last shot at the end zone. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game.
So it's a win here for the Lions. And the guy who spearheaded things was their quarterback, and that's Jared Goff.
Yeah, just a tremendous game throwing the football. Over 400 yards passing, 3 touchdown passes included in that total. And he really just dissected this defense from the opening kickoff to the final gun.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Lions as we say so long from Ford Field.